Buenos Dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict, right? And as you can tell by today's thumbnail, we're talking about the Historia. We're talking about the celebration. We're talking about September 16th, Mexican Independence Day, but not also Mexican Independence Day, but also a big day into the Historia of La Nuestra Familia and their independence from La M and the Yardas, right? So let's get into a little bit of history on Mexico. See, a lot of people don't educate one's mind. It's always good to educate yourself and be up to par on what's going on around you. And the only way to know what's going on around you now, here, today, on this motherfucking day in Menudo style, is to know your history, right? Educate your mind. Know where you're derived from. Know the persecution. Know the oppression that your gente have went through to make it a better day for you. Okay, so at the same time, I myself as a youngster was never educated at first. I didn't know what was going on. And my gente sat me down and gave me the spiel, gave me the good rhyme, gave me the love, gave me the education that I needed to set forth as a man, as a Hispanic man is what they call me, right? But I am not a Hispanic man. I'm a Latino, a Chicano, right? Hispanic is a word derived from Hispania, okay? Yes, I have Spanish blood, just like we all have running through our veins. And I got love for my Spaniards. I got love for that heritage. But at the same time, I also got a lot of love for my Mexicano roots, right? And I'm going to tell you about the differences and how that happened. So on September 16th in the Battle of Hidalgo, you had one Hidalgo who shouted out those famous words, right? That separated that cause, basically. It made Mexico independent. Now, it wasn't the actual factual day that they became it. So this day, it's over. Charlie, man, it's just a day of a Mexicano and the day that they declared it. Okay, it had been going on, this war for independence. But it's the day that we staked the claim that we became independent. As a country, as a state, as a whatever it may be. Okay, so it's very celebrated in Mexico. And us, people of Mexicano roots, celebrated here. It's something to know your history. Know the persecutions that your people went through. Know the oppression. Know how they climbed, from nada to the top. Because it happened. Okay? So it's a very big day for the gente. And I just want to tell all my people of Latino roots, all gente, whether you be Africano, white, others, whatever it may be, the embracement is real, the canalismo is real, and you are embraced by the people. The people are only here because the hard work and the strive, the sacrifices they made to get here. That's what it is. Now, as far as the independence for La Nuestra Familia, there's a lot of historia that goes into that. And it plays an intricate part in the Chicanismo and to the love, man, that the gente have for the history, the plight, right? I was educated by righteous soldados, righteous individuals that struggled to maintain, that struggled to establish yards, that struggled to establish a respect factor for the gente. I myself was, get over here, sat my ass down and told me, look, gun, you want to have a red paño, you want to represent that huelga bird, this is what you're talking about. Well, let me give you a little historia and a little backtracking into why the people declared their independence. Now, there's always been an oppression that has went on, with all people, not just Mexicans, not just Norteños, not just Sureños, Africanos. Everybody at one point in time, every race, every religion, every creed has been persecuted for their beliefs, right? And at one point in time, La M, and it's nothing but respect, was rocking their good rhyme, was pushing their movement in the direction that they felt was necessary for the Mexicanos that were incarcerated, right? Torcido. And the Vatos, not necessarily from up north, because everybody knows that's that's not facts. The facts remain that Vatos from down south started Nuestra Familia. This gente got together and felt that the oppression that these people were having on their own gente, they should take the necessary steps to start a clandestine group to separate themselves and push their movement, push their beliefs. And it started out as a political movement. So the day of September 16th is the day that Nuestra Familia established their stake and their claim on those yardas and declared their independence by getting off, right? And it was a vicious one. It was another war into the long string of wars that continue to happen to this day. Whether it be on them yardas or on the calles or wherever it may be, Norteños would declare their independence. Now, when I say Norteños, it's meaning, and Norteños celebrated as such, it's because Nuestra Familia are the forefathers of the Norteño movement. Okay? At this time, Norteños were not established. There was no Norteños. There was no Sureños. There was no none of that. It was the NF as well as the M. And the M established first. Primera. right? La primera lives. Okay, so when they declared their independence and they got off on this yard, by the only way they knew how to was by these, right? They made their stake and their claim in those yards. We are going to be a separate entity. We are going to be our own movement. We are going to be a political movement for our people. Now, of course, over time and over the course of time, things have changed. And it now has become what it has become, right? And righteously so, no disrespect to what it has become, but it was not always supposed to be like that. Everything in this world is founded on good, and somewhere along the line turns bad. Or if not bad, gets strayed away from its path. Okay? But on this day, Viva mi gente, on this day, I've always been taught, man, it's a day of celebration, a day of independence, a day of recollection back on the forefathers that made the necessary sacrifices in the strive for these vatos, these norteños, everyone, so forth and so on, to be saying, mi gente, mi raza, camarada, you know what I mean? Brother, carnal, bro, whatever you say. Without these vatos making those sacrifices, we wouldn't be here today to do a fucking burpee or a push-up. So you sacrifice, you go within oneself, and you know the plight and the oppression and the denigration and things that these gente have went through, and you take it within oneself. And that's why norteños on this day bust down viciously. That's why norteños bust that sprechtischo canalismo. That's why norteños embrace each other as canalismo, as soldados, gente, you know, as few as they are, to show that love and respect for what the forefathers done to establish for them, for their safety, security, and social status of equality. Okay? Now, everything was formatted and everything was written as such for the people to strive forever forward for a better day. Okay? And on this day, it is celebrated. So as it is celebrated for the Mexican people in general and whole, for the independence from España, from Spain, as such, norteños celebrated for the way the movement separated itself from the oppression of the gente. Okay? And so at the same time, it is a great day of celebration for all Latinos, all Mexicanos, all Chicanos, because it's a great day, a show of force, a show of independence, a show of prosperity for the people, all people. Mexicans stood up against Spain and says, Charlie, Holmes, we ain't going on like that. Orale. And in that fashion, as well as the La Nuestra Familia stood up for their sacred beliefs. You know, and whether you be a Sureño or a Norteño, you're like, God, this doesn't pertain to us. It pertains to all people because it shows all people the true mentality and the warriorism that Chicanos and Mexicanos have within themselves. You know, whether it's your cause that you believe in or not, you can learn a lot from what these vatos did. You know, sometimes when you're not in the right place, man, you're not in the right frame of mind, and people are coming at you from every direction with a lot of he says, she says, a lot of nonsense, a lot of things that you know are frivolous, but feel like it's oppression, man. You need to stand up. It is better to die standing than live on one's knees. It is better to be 10 toes down and stand for what you believe in, because at the end of the day, your beliefs are the factors, the only thing that you have. You know, so on September 16th, this is a day of celebration. This is the day that we could say proudly, we are soldados within this world. We are warriors. We have that warrior mentality. We are derived from the indigenous people, the Incas, the Aztecs, the Mayans, you know, or whatever, so on and so forth, whatever it may be, wherever you were derived from. Know that in the beginning, it was all indigenous. And then it became what it became now, you know. So I know as an educated soldado, I was always striving for the betterment of my people, for the protection and safety and security and betterment of my people, for true victory. For there is a foundation and 4 steps that go to victory. Sas, Welgabird style. This is what I was taught. You know, I was taught to strive for better education, to strive for social status of equality, to strive for independence, to maintain my professionalism, to show gente that I am a cut above the rest, right? Not better than, but there, vato. You know what I mean? As a norteño, that's what I was taught. As a norteño soldado, as I elevated my rank and status from regular northerner norteño to norteño soldado, which is being now called ensos, you know, because at one point I was as such. And then, of course, Nuestra Familia was the total vision. That's where I wanted to see myself. But at the same time, I never achieved that status. And righteously so. It's not for everybody, you know. Didn't mean I wasn't cut from the same cloth. Didn't mean I couldn't strive to make it. Things happen in life that set the course different. And so I'm happy with where I am today and how I am here to unite and be the voice for the people, by the people. You know, Hey, we don't need you gun to be our voice. You know what, Sasuke? Watch out. Too bad. I'm right here. And I'm going to continue to strive for excellence. Orale, and continue to strive for the people and the raza in whole. Not just for the north, but for the south as well. Because I'm a true believer in the gente, in the raza. You know? I was once blind, but orale, I got glasses. Now I can see. You know? And that's just what it is. So on a day like this, on September 16th, you know, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be a comedian. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to be this. I'm not trying to be that. What I'm trying to be is for the people, and that's what I will continue to be. You know, I show nothing but love and support for all raza. Whether you're going down that path to become a gang member, to strive for a bigger cause, orale, ponle, get yours. Just do it with professionalism. Do it righteously. Okay? If you strive to go out there and work for your familia, man, to be a productive member of society, you know, as raza, show that face, man. Show them that we can go out there and do it. Show them that we've been doing it. A lot of what is around us is founded by Mexicanos' blood, sweat, and tears. Shit that they went through. You know, strife that they woke up every morning and handled. This is what I celebrate. You know, I celebrate our independence from persecution, from oppression. I celebrate, you know, our being able to maintain them yardas. You know, there's a lot that goes into this day that I am proud of. And there's a lot that goes into this day that I am not proud of. Okay? I'm not proud that our people had to go through this in the first place, but everybody has their hardships in life, and that's just what it is. You know, at the end of the day, man, I hope that you guys move fast with a purpose. That's called hustling. The reason I say that every day is for a day like this. You know, because the forefathers on all fronts have went through so many necessary sacrifices to make us independent and to make us a people to prosper with the propensity to deliver what we have to deliver. That I say to myself, man, get out there and hustle. Move fast with a purpose. Don't be a shiesty motherfucker. Don't be trying to gank people. Don't be trying to get people. Don't do none of that, right? Go out there and get it on your own merits, and you'll appreciate it more, because that's what was taught to me by real Mexicanos, by real Norteños, by real soldados, by real raza. You know? And like I said, this message is not just for the raza, for my people. It's for all gente. You know, it's for all people, because we all, every race, have went through our struggles. Let's strive together and unite together, man, to become a better gente for the world. What the? Orale, for the world. La primera lives. You know, we can do this together. You know, separated is what they want. Togetherness is what we want or we need. You know, so September 16th, today is a day of reflection. Whether you're kicking back, drinking some coronitas, some modelos with the gente, a little asada, menudo, you already know what time it is. Take a minute to reflect back and pay homage and respect to the soldados that sacrifice. Whether you will be a norteño, you already know what time it is if you're well educated. What, you know what I mean? Sasuke, burpee time. You already know what it is. You know, just yesterday we've had, you know, a big indictment, you know, with a lot of the Nuestra Familia members from the state faction, right? And man, everything was worked out specifically. Happy birthday, you know? Everything was worked out so that way the feds had these guys incarcerated, you know, or going through this strife and this oppression, man, on this very day. For those soldados that are in themselves right now, if you don't see this, I'm with you. I'm with you in spirit, homes. Strive, my brother, strive. For there will be a better day. It's what you make of it. Anyways, at the end of the day, today is the day for the raza. Today is the day to reflect back on independence. Today is the day to read some history and know what your people went through, so that way you can get up and say, Sasuke, orale, so you can do your thing, you know what I mean? As raza from Gunners Collective, I express to you nothing but my gratitude for, paying attention, supporting me, showing me love, liking, subscribing, whatever you're doing. And if you're not, Sasuke, just for viewing this, even the people that don't like me, this day is for all of us. And with that being said, the gun, bang, bang, you be like that.